Subscribe our Nehra Classes YouTube channel to watch free live training sessions and to avail the membership facilities and additional perks, click the join button. Hello everyone, I'm Vikas Nehra. Welcome you all to our RHCSA version 10 training. This training we are starting from 1st of March 2025, and in this training we will not only cover the topics which are important for the RHCSA exam, but we will try to cover all those topics as well which are important for the Linux admins. Since we are having the people here from different domains, different backgrounds, so we will start the topic from scratch. We will go in detail of each and every topic. We will try to keep things as simple as we can, and we will start with the objective of RHCSA exam. But before that, you should know why should you learn Linux? What are the benefits of learning Linux for you? Actually, learning Linux can offer you a lot of advantages depending your interest, your career goals, your computing needs, and uh, after learning Linux, you can go into multiple domains. You can build your career in multiple domains. It will give you the benefit there in your career as well. The first point which I'm going to mention here is the open source philosophy. All of you are aware that the Linux is an open source operating system. Learning Linux will introduce you to the open source world. Open source means you have the freedom to view and modify and distribute the source code, which is not available in other operating systems like Windows or Mac. Second point is market demand. Many IT jobs, roles, especially if I talk about the system administration, DevOps, DevSecOps, SRE, cloud computing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, their Linux knowledge is a must. If you have Linux knowledge, then it is very beneficial for you if you want to build your career in those sectors, in those domains. Linux is in demand right now. Third thing is cost effectiveness. Linux is very cost effective. Many of the Linux distributions are freely available. You can easily use them. You can modify the source code. You can redistribute the source code. So a lot of options are available with Linux. You don't need to pay any fee or the subscription charges if you want to start learning Linux. It is not necessary that you go with Red Hat. You can try the other alternatives as well. You can go for Fedora, you can go for CentOS, you can go for Alma Linux. A lot of other options are available. So it is very cost effective. It is freely available. The next point is server administration. Because 98% of the machines which are running in IT sector, especially if I talk about the servers, those are running on Linux. So Linux dominates the server market, and it is powering a significant portion of the web servers, cloud infrastructure, and the enterprise servers. You will find Linux there in each and every giant company. Next point is security. Linux is known for its security features, like multiple security tools are available there in Linux, like SE Linux is there, firewall is there, PAM modules are there, multi-factor authentication is there, discretionary access control is there. So a lot of security features are available there in Linux, and because of these security features, there are no virus attacks, no malware or the other type of attacks which can happen with other operating systems. So Linux is very secure operating system. Next point is development tools. Many development environments and tools natively are supported on Linux. Many of the developers which prefer to work on Linux. Next point is command line proficiency. if you are the Linux administrator, if you are either working on Linux or if you want to build your career in Linux, you should have the proficiency in CLI. Only then you can consider yourself as a Linux admin. Because as a Linux admin, we are not supposed to use the graphical user interface. We prefer CLI because CLI is much more powerful as compared to GUI and easy to use, and with the simple internet connection you can manage a machine which is there which is at a remote location. So you don't need to focus on GUI here in this training. We will cover all the topics on CLI only. So with learning Linux, your command line proficiency increases. Next point is compatibility with cloud services. Linux is widely used in cloud computing environments like in AWS, Azure, Alibaba. So all the cloud service providers, they prefer Linux. And as I mentioned earlier, more than 98% of the machines, the servers which people are using there, those are running on Linux. Next point is networking. Linux provides robust networking capabilities, and it is a very popular choice for the networking professionals. Next point is diversity of distributions. Linux is available in various distributions, various versions, and you can select the operating system, the version or the flavor as per your own requirements. So you have the freedom to choose the operating system, the version as per your own requirements, your needs, which is not available in case of Windows or Mac or some other operating systems. So if I summarize, you should learn Linux because it will broaden your skills, it will increase the chances of your employability in the tech industry, it will provide you a solid foundation for various IT related roles, and it will make you future ready, which is more important. So if you are interested in server administration, Linux system administration, software development, cloud computing, Linux proficiency is a very valuable asset for you. Okay. Now I will talk about the RHCSA certifications and developing the Linux skills. We will talk about the objective of RHCSA exam. Obtaining the RHCSA certification and developing the Linux skills can offer you a multitude of career benefits. As I mentioned earlier, Linux skills are in demand. You should learn Linux if you want to build the career in system administration, cloud computing, machine learning, cyber security. So it will open the opportunities for you to build your career in IT infra. Versatility. Linux is not limited to any specific industry or sector. It is used everywhere, from a simple smartwatch to the Large Hadron Collider, the machine which is running in Geneva. So Linux is everywhere. You will find it in your in-car entertainment as well as you can find it there in the space station. Linux is present everywhere. Industry recognition. Red Hat certifications are well respected in IT industry. Having the RHCSA certification on your resume validates your expertise and may set you apart from the other candidates during the job searches. I personally don't recommend the certifications, but if you have the skills, if you have the knowledge and you want to validate it, then you can go for the certification. If you have money to pay the certification amount, then it is good for you to go for the certifications. But before that, you should always focus on the knowledge. You should try to acquire the skills. Only then you should go for the certification exams. There is a path which you should follow for the certifications. So RHCSA is the basic or the entry level certification of Red Hat. RHCSA certification will help you in your career advancement. RHCSA is the foundational certification and it will open the path for you for the advanced certifications like RHCE, which is the Red Hat Certified Engineer, or the other specialized certifications. Or if you want to go for the Red Hat Certified Architect, RHCA, then you can start with RHCSA. So it will provide you a stepping stone in your career progression, because RHCSA will not only open the path for the advanced certifications, it will give you that knowledge, those skills which are important for you to get a job as a Linux admin. It will definitely help you for the job opportunities. Many organizations prefer Linux skills for roles such as Linux administrator, network administrator, cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, or DevSecOps, SRE. So for those roles, you must have the Linux skills. And RHCSA certification expands your job opportunities in these sectors, in these roles. RHCSA certification will help you in the salary package as well. After clearing the certification, you will have better chances of getting the more salary. So Linux professionals often command competitive salaries due to the demand for their expertise. And RHCSA certification can contribute to negotiations at a higher salary or qualifying for more lucrative positions. Contribution to the open source project. If you want to contribute in the open source community, then also you should learn Linux. You should go for the RHCSA certification. Adaptability to the technology trends. Linux is prevalent in emerging technologies such as containerization, like you might have heard of Docker, Kubernetes, orchestration, and cloud computing like AWS, Azure, GCP. So suppose you want to build your career as the cloud engineer, then you must have the Linux skills first. RHCSA certification ensures that you are well equipped to work with those technologies. So it just not only validates your knowledge, but it will give you the confidence to adapt the technology trends, to go for the other positions. Security proficiency. Linux is known for the security features. By mastering Linux, you can enhance your understanding of secure system administration practices, which are very crucial in today's cybersecurity landscape. You must know how to follow the security protocols there in the organization. So because of Linux security features, after completing this course, you should consider yourself that you know all the security parameters or the security rules which you should follow in the organization. Red Hat certifications are globally accepted and they will give you the global recognition. So if you want to build your career as a system administrator and you have the money to do the certification, so after completing this course, you should go for the certifications. Okay, now I'll talk about the Red Hat certification path. So which is the entry level certification, what certification you can do after RHCSA, then which certification is there. So this is the Red Hat certification triangle. Here you will see RHCSA at the bottom, RHCE in the middle, and RHCA at the top. RHCSA, it means the Red Hat Certified System Administrator. It is the entry level certification of Red Hat. And after completing the course or after clearing the exam, you should consider yourself as the Linux system administrator. So Who is RHCSA? It is the IT professional who has earned the Red Hat Certified System Administrator certificate and is able to perform the core system administration skills which are required in the Red Hat Enterprise Linux environments. So, who is the RHCSA or the Red Hat Certified System Administrator? It is the person who has cleared the RHCSA exam and having the system administration skills, like how to manage the users, how to manage the permissions, how to manage the security, how to manage the networking. So all those tasks he should be able to perform. Then the next certification is Red Hat Certified Engineer. Red Hat Certified Engineer is a person who has cleared the RHCE exam after completing RHCSA and is able to automate the tasks which he was performing manually earlier. So in RHCSA, you perform the tasks manually. But if you want to automate the tasks, like you want to add 100 users on 100 machines, then how will you do that? You will not log in each and every machine manually and create the users there. What you will do? You will use the Ansible ad hoc commands or the playbooks there. So RHCE is Ansible, and a Red Hat certified engineer is the person who clears this certification after RHCSA and is able to automate the tasks in the Linux machines which he was supposed to perform manually at the time of RHCSA. Now the top one, RHCA, which is Red Hat Certified Architect. A Red Hat Certified Solution Architect is the person who provides expertise, guidance, and implement the policies for developing the enterprise systems within the product or services offered by a specific vendor. So architect means the person who clears a total of 7 certifications, means you need to clear 5 more certifications after RHCSA and RHCE in order to get the title of RHCA. And after completing these 7 certifications, you will get the title of Red Hat Certified Architect. And an architect is the person who provides the guidance, the expertise, and implement the policies for the product or the development of the services in any organization. We have one RHCA person here in this session with us, Code Buddy, who has recently cleared all the 7 certifications and he gained the title of the Red Hat Certified Architect. So I'll show you the Red Hat certification path. If you are new to Linux or the beginner, you can either go for RH124, which is the Red Hat System Administrator 1. Then you can go for Red Hat Certified System Administrator 2, which is RH134, or you can directly go for the Red Hat Certified Administrator, that is the RHCSA, this course in which you are currently enrolled. The exam code is EX200, and then if you want, you can go for the Red Hat System Administrator 3, or you can directly go for the Red Hat Certified Engineer, which is EX294. So this is the certification path which you can follow if you are a beginner. If you ask me which exam should I go for, I will recommend you that you should directly go for RHCSA first, and after that you can go for the RHCE. You don't need to go for RH124 or 134 nowadays. Or if you are already working as a Linux admin, then you can go for the Rapid Track course, which is RH199. Then you can go for RHCSA, or you can directly go for the RHCSA. You don't need to go for the Rapid Track course, and then you can go for RHCE. If you are working as a senior Linux administrator, you can go for RHCSA directly, and then you can go for RHCE. If you are already previously certified for RHCE, you can go for RHCE lab, then you can go for the RHCSA and RHCE. So for all the people here who want to go for the certifications, I'll personally recommend you should go for RHCSA first, and then you can go for RHCE, because in this training we will cover all the topics in such a way that even if you are a beginner, you can easily understand the topics and you can easily clear the certification exam. You don't need to worry for anything. So go for RHCSA first, and after that, if you want, you can go for RHCE directly. You don't need to follow this certification path. You don't need to go for RH 124, 134, or 199. Okay. So if you want to go for the Red Hat Certified Architect level, you can go for the RHCSA exam first. After that, you can go for the RHCE exam. Then you need to select total 5 exams which you want to clear to achieve or to get the title of RHCA. And you can select these 5 exams from this list. If you want to see the updated list, you can go on the Red Hat portal. So out of these exams, you can select 5, and after clearing a total of 7 exams, including RHCSA and RHCE, you can get the title of the Red Hat Certified Architect, which is RHCA. These are the certification exams. We will cover this training on RHEL 10. RHEL means Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat Enterprise Linux is the operating system. RHCSA is the exam. Many of you are new here, so I would like to clear the terms which I'm using here time and again. So RHCSA is the certification exam. RHEL is the operating system which we will use in this training. Now we will talk about the RHCSA certification exam information. So RHCSA, it is the entry level certification. The exam code is EX200. It is a practical hands-on based exam. Means you will be given the tasks in the exam and you need to clear the task. You need to solve the questions there on the system in the live environment, and on the basis of the performance, how you solve the paper, how you complete the tasks which are given to you in the question paper, you will be evaluated. So it is the practical hands-on based exam offered by Red Hat to assess the skills and the knowledge of the system administrators. The duration of this exam is about 3 hours. The exam format is practical hands-on based. There are no objective questions. You will be directly given the tasks and you need to solve the questions on the system only. Maximum marks are 300 and the passing score is 70%. Means you need to get at least 210 out of 300 if you want to clear the exam and get the certification. The exam cost in India is 20,000 plus GST. So it is about 21,800 in India. I'm not sure about the other countries. It may change depending on the location. Some Red Hat partners may give you some discount offers. So if you want to get it at a lower price, you can check with the official Red Hat partners. Exam topics. So there are 9 to 10 sections in this syllabus of RHCSA. The first one is understand and use the essential Linux tools. So in this section, we will talk about accessing the shell prompt, how to issue the commands, how to use the redirectional operators there, how to use the regular expressions, how to access the system remotely using SSH, how to log in and switch the users, how to compress or decompress the files, how to create and edit the files, how to create and edit or move the directories, how to create or manage the hard links and soft links. Next section is about shell scripting. In this section, we will learn how to execute the code, how to use the loops there, how to process the script inputs, how to process the output. The next section is operate running systems. In this section, we will cover how to boot, reboot, and shut down the system normally, how to boot the system in multiple targets manually, how to interrupt the boot process, how to gain the access of the system, how to identify the CPU memory intensive processes, and how to kill the processes, means process management, how to schedule a process to run in future, how to manage the tuning profiles in Linux. Next section is about storage management. Here you will learn how to create, delete, or manage the partitions on MBR as well as the GPT disks, how to create and remove the physical volumes, how to assign the physical volume to volume group, how to create and delete or manage the logical volumes, how to configure system, how to use the UUIDs there in the fstep file, how to add the partitions and the logical volumes, how to manage the swap partitions. In the next section, we will talk about the file system management. Here in this section, you will learn how to create, mount, unmount, use the different file systems that we use in Linux, how to change the file systems from one to another, how to mount and unmount the network file systems using NFS, how to use the AutoFS feature, how to extend the existing logical volumes, how to create and configure the SGID bit on directories, how to diagnose and correct the file permissions, means permission management. The next section is about deploy, configure, and maintain systems. In this section, you will learn how to schedule a task to run in future using add and cron tab, how to start, stop, and manage the services, how to configure system to boot into the specific target automatically, how to configure the NTP server and the NTP clients, how to install and update the packages or the softwares, means the package management, how to modify the system bootloader. The next section is about networking. In this section, you will learn how to configure the IPv4 and the IPv6 address to a machine, how to configure the host name, how to configure the network services to start automatically at the boot time, how to restrict network access using firewall. Then the 8th section, it is about the users and the groups. In this section, you will learn how to manage and the group users and the groups. So there you will learn how to create, delete, modify the local user accounts in your machine, how to change the password there, how to adjust the password aging policies, how to create, delete, and modify the local groups or the group memberships, how to manage the super user access. The 9th section is about system security. There you learn how to manage the security features, how you configure the firewall settings, how to manage the file permissions. File permissions means discretionary access control mechanism. We will talk about it in detail. Don't need to worry about anything. Some of the terms might be new for you, so don't worry. We will cover each and everything in detail. Then you will know how to configure the SSH based authentication, how to enforce the SE Linux policies, how to manage the SE Linux policies there, how to list and identify the SE Linux file and process context, how to restore default file contexts, manage SE Linux ports labels, how to use booleans in SE Linux, how to diagnose and address routine SE Linux policy violations. The next section, it is very, very important. It is all about containers. If you go through all the topics of this section, you can easily understand Docker. So there, in this section, we will talk about how to find and retrieve the container images from the remote registries, how to inspect the container images, how to perform the container management using commands such as podman and scopio. In Red Hat, we use podman. Podman and Docker are similar. You will understand how to build a container image from the container file, how to perform the basic container management tasks like running, starting, stopping, and listing the containers, how to run a service inside the Linux inside the container, how to configure a container to start automatically at the system D service, how to attach the persistent storage to a container. So these are the topics which we are going to cover up in this training. Additionally, we will cover a lot of other topics as well. I will give you the detailed information about it. So this is the syllabus of our training. Here we will start with the objective of RHCSA exam. In this session, we are covering this topic. After that, we will cover RHEL 9 versus RHEL 10 topic. From the next session, we will start with history of Unix. Then you will come to know about the concept of virtualization, the installation of RHEL 10 in your machine. Then we will start with the file system hierarchy in Linux. So you can go through the syllabus of our training program. We are covering not only the RHCSA topics, but many additional topics as well, which you will not find on any other platform like Udemy or some other institute. Like they will not cover RAID concept there in RHCSA, which we are covering. They will not cover the quota management. They will not cover the LUKS encryption. They will not cover the kernel related issues in RHCSA syllabus. So this is the syllabus of our Linux administration. Here we are covering all the topics of RHCSA and the additional topics which are important for the Linux admins. Like you will find this topic, how to build a Linux package right from scratch. This topic you can't find on any other platform. I will teach you the NIC teaming concept as well. We will talk about the routing table as well. We will do the network sniffing in this training. Then you will come to know how to compile the Linux kernel. It is very important. And nobody covers this topic in RHCSA. You will come to know about the kdump. It is a feature in Linux. So we will cover the kdump as well. In firewall, we will cover all the topics, advanced topics as well, like masquerading, port forwarding, rich rules, ICMP. So those things will also be covered. We will cover SE Linux in detail. Then you will come to know about the KVM, kernel based virtual machine. You will come to know about the composer. We will cover the containers there as well. We will cover the scripting topics as well. SSH port forwarding, we will cover there in this training. We will cover the PAM modules also, which are very important for the security. Then, after completing the topics of RHCSA, we will cover some server configuration topics as well, like how to configure the Apache server, FTP server, NFS server, AutoFS server, Samba server, iSCSI server. We will cover the multi-pathing as well, which is very important again. We will cover the DNS server configuration as well. And then I'll show you how to set up the lab in your machine for the exam. And I'll provide you the question paper of the RHCSA exam as well. So currently, RHEL 10 is in development. It is available as a beta. And it will be released somewhere around May to June 2025. So in this time, we will cover the basic topics of Linux administration. And once RHEL 10 is released, the stable version gets released and we come to know the changes, we will cover those topics as well in this training. So you will find some more additional topics which will be covered at the end of this training. Okay. Now we will talk about the comparison of RHEL 9 and 10. I'm showing you the tabular comparison. I'm showing you the table where at the one column I'm mentioning the features of RHEL 9 and on the other one we have mentioned the features of RHEL 10. RHEL means Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat is a community which develops or builds the operating system named as Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Currently, the stable version is RHEL 9, but after few months we will get the version 10 as well. Currently version 10 is in its beta phase. So development is going on there on RHEL 10. So let's compare RHEL 9 and 10. The release date of RHEL 9 is 17th of May 2022, while if I talk about RHEL 10, the beta version was released in November 12, 2024, and the stable version is expected in mid of 2025. RHEL 9 is based on Linux kernel version 5.14, while RHEL 10 beta is based on 6.11. The default compiler for RHEL 9 is GCC 11.2.1. For RHEL 10 is GCC 14.2. Desktop environment on RHEL 9 is Genome 40. On RHEL 10 is Genome 47. Application stream for RHEL 9 utilizes modularity for packaging, while in case of RHEL 10, application stream do not use modularity. Traditional RPM packages are used. RPM means Red Hat Package Manager. We will talk about the RPM or the commands which we use for the package management like yum, DNF. So you will come to know about all those things in the package management section. You don't need to worry about it. If I talk about the networking feature, in RHEL 9, TMD service was deprecated, and in RHEL 10, TMD service has been completely removed. Now kernel bolting is the recommended replacement for TMD. For network configuration, on RHEL 9, IFCFG format was supported, which is no longer available here in RHEL 10. New key format is required here in RHEL 10. RHEL 9 includes Firefox web browser, while there is no Firefox browser present on RHEL 10. It is removed. RHEL 10 provides stable performance. RHEL 9 provides stable performance. RHEL 10 is in its beta phase. So initial benchmarks shows slightly better improvement in the performance, especially on the modern hardware. What are the hardware requirements? RHEL 9 is compatible with the wide range of the hardware, including new as well as old. While RHEL 10 may require CPU supporting x86-64 version 3 capabilities, means older hardware might not be supported there on RHEL 10. The default file system for both is XFS. And if I talk about the subscription is either available through Red Hat program, or you can purchase the subscription directly on RHEL 10, on RHEL 9, sorry. And on RHEL 10, currently it is in beta testing. So subscription details will be confirmed upon release. Once it gets released, we will come to know about the subscription and the pricing and the other details. RHEL 10 is currently in beta. Features and specifications are subject to change upon official release. So there may be some changes once it gets released in May or June 2025. So we will come to know once it gets released after a few months. So currently it is in beta. So there are chances that there may be some more features or there may be some less features depending on their decision once it gets released here in mid of 2025. Now, what are the career opportunities after learning Linux or after completing the RHCSA certification? So learning Linux can open up a range of career opportunities for you. Like you can go for the system administration job, you can go for the DevOps engineer role, you can go for the cloud engineer role, you can go for the network engineer role or network administrator role, you can go for the cybersecurity profiles, you can go for the software development, because many developers prefer to work on the Linux environments. You can become a database administrator as well. After completing Linux, you can go for the database administration courses and you can build your career there in the database. You can work as the IT consultant. You can do the penetration testing. You can become the ethical hacker if you want. You can work as the data scientist or the data analyst after learning Linux, and you can be the trainer or the educator as well, like me. So these are the career opportunities and many more, because there are wide variety of the career opportunities which requires Linux skills. Okay, so that's it from my side for today's introductory session of RHCSA. If you have any questions, you can ask me.